Hey Book Dragons, welcome back to my channel. Glad you could be here. Today we are doing my holiday book haul. Let's go. So I got a lot of cool books for the holidays and some other non-bookish items that I am going to talk about as well. But I'll kind of save those for the end. But I do want to show off some other stuff I'm a nerd in general. So when I get other nerdy stuff, I like to show that off as well. So this is primarily books with a few other things at the end of the video. So let's get right to it, guys. I'm going to start off with the books I got on Kindle, and then we'll go from there. How's that? So the first book that I got on Kindle was Feet of Clay by Terry Pratchett. That is one of the Discworld books, and very excited to continue expanding my collection of Terry Pratchett. White Knight, which is book 9 in the Dresden Files series. Now, I am not that far in the series yet, but I'm hoping to eventually get there. So, I'm expanding my Dresden collection as well. The Girl in the Tower, that is book 2 in the Winter Night trilogy by Catherine Arden. I recently read The Bear and the Nightingale and absolutely loved it. You can check out my review. I'll leave a link in the cards at the end and in the description below as well. But I'm very excited to continue this series and find out what it's all about. So I did snag the second book on my Kindle. Wolves of the Kala, which is book 5 of the Dark Tower series. I am actually hoping to get to that this very month. So I ended up using some of my gift cards to go ahead and purchase Wolves of the Kala as well. And a newer author that I've heard a lot about, but I've never read, and to my knowledge she only has the one series out. Now I could be wrong, but this is The Dragon's Legacy by Deborah Wolf. I've been hearing about Deborah for a long time, especially in one of the grimdark fantasy groups that I'm in on Facebook. So I saw this on sale and I figured I should pick it up. And so I did. And that is the end of the Kindle books. Now, we are going to start off with a book that I was given, well, rather that I won off my wish list. I participated in a giveaway on Fina's channel, Fina Reads. I'll leave a link to her channel in the description below. Josephina was kind enough to notify me that I won the giveaway. And so I ended up getting The Call of Cthulhu. Now, of course, I have The Call of Cthulhu in my massive omnibus of H.P. Lovecraft stories, but this one is really special because it's fully illustrated, and man alive, I tell you what, these are just some phenomenal illustrations. I can't tell you how amazed and utterly happy I am to have received this. So thank you, Josephine. I really appreciate it. And make sure you guys check out her channel. It is phenomenal. Now, we are going to start talking about the physical books that I got. And I'm going to start off with the Hannibal Lecter series by Thomas Harris. That would be Red Dragon, The Silence of the Lambs, Hannibal, and Hannibal Rising. I've become a huge fan of Hannibal. My kids and I recently finished watching the Hannibal TV series with Mads Mikkelsen in the lead role of Hannibal Lecter. If you have not watched this show, you guys seriously need to check it out. It is a phenomenal show. It did get canceled. It only had 3 seasons, but I think it could easily be picked up by another studio. So here's hoping. We're crossing our fingers. But I've really been wanting to read this series. I saw the Silence of the Lambs movie years ago, and I haven't watched it again recently, but I'm a huge fan of Anthony Hopkins, and just the character of Hannibal Lecter is fascinating. If you're not familiar with it, Hannibal Lecter is a psychiatrist who eats people. He's a cannibal, hence his nickname Hannibal the Cannibal. But I love mystery thrillers, so I'm really looking forward to seeing what these books are about and comparing it to the show and see how it compares. So yeah, I was able to get those with some of my gift cards. The next book that I got a hold of is an omnibus of the Merlin trilogy by Mary Stewart. I am a huge fan of Arthurian legend, and this happens to be my favorite so far of any Arthurian legends that I have read. The first book is The Crystal Cave, The Hollow Hills is the second book, and The Last Enchantment is the third book. When I was a kid, I borrowed these from my grandmother's library, and I was just entranced by them. And I've always wanted to get a hold of a copy again. At first I thought I'd get it on ebook, but then I'm like, well, I'm not finding it. It's not released on ebook. And the art for the other editions out there, it's just kind of old and dated, and I didn't really care for it. But I saw this, and I'm like, oh, I like that. So I decided to get it. Now, the only downside is the print is pretty small, but I tried reading a couple of paragraphs, and it didn't bother me too much. So I'm very excited to finally have this in my library. And then I got, this was the last book that I got with gift cards that I received at the holidays. I got Strange the Dreamer by Laini Taylor. This follows a character named Laszlo Strange, who is a dreamer, I guess. I've heard really good things about it. I haven't read a whole lot about it. I'm trying to keep myself in suspense for this one. So I ended up getting the hardcover because the hardcover was actually cheaper than the trade paperback. So go figure. I decided I'd grab it and enjoy it. And then I got 3 books from some friends who are moving out of town, and they were just giving away these books, and I'm like, oh, okay, sure, I'll snag them. My good friend Elliot Brooks has always talked to me about this book. This is the first book by Neil Shusterman in the Scythe trilogy. I think it's the Scythe trilogy. I could be wrong. But anyway, she talks a whole lot of good about this series, and I'm like, well, it's free. Why not? I'll give it a shot and see what happens. But yeah, I found this at my friend's house. They were getting rid of it, and I'm like, yeah, why not? Another friend, not Elliot, another friend. So yeah, I'm excited to get to this and see what it's like. The Vagrant by Peter Newman. This, I don't know a whole lot about it. I know it involves a thief and a baby and a goat, if I'm right. Yeah, that's all I know about it. I've been hearing about this book a lot over the years, and I think I have it on Kindle, but it was free, so I'm like, yeah, I'll grab the physical copy from you and see what I think of it. So, yeah, I'm excited to see what this is all about eventually. And this is going to topple if I'm not careful, and it toppled. That's okay. That's all right. I'll fix that later. The last book that I got from my friends was Grimm's Complete Fairy Tales. Now, I haven't actually read any of Grimm's original fairy tales, believe it or not, but I've always been curious to see what they're like. So I saw this and I'm like, well, heck, I'm gonna snag this and read some of Grimm's fairy tales on occasion. Maybe I'll make this my October read this year. We'll see. I've done Lovecraftober the last 2 years. Maybe I'll change up and do a little Grimm's fairy tales for October. We'll see. And that is all of the books that I got from my book haul. Now there's a couple of other odds and ends that I would like to tell you about. First of all, my son got me this ever so special dragon statue. And not only is it a dragon statue, but it lights up. It's got this cool, nifty little light in the bottom of it, and I'm so excited. You know me, I love dragons, and I love collecting dragons, so I'm so excited to have this. And we'll turn that light off for now. Set that there. And finally, last but not least, I got a Deadpool t-shirt. And if you can read what it says, I've lost my number. Can I have yours? This is perfect for any Deadpool fan, especially a single Deadpool fan. I mean, why not, right? So that was my other gift that I wanted to show off that I'm really excited about. I hope that you have enjoyed this holiday haul video. What did you get for the holidays? Let me know in the comments below. Any of these books ring a bell to you? Have you read any of them? What are your thoughts on them? Are you jealous that I have them and you don't? Let me know in the comments. And make sure that you are reading more books. Until next time, guys, take care.